Welcome to the Mystery and History channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Some photos are strange because of what they show. Others are strange because no one has ever fully explained them. In this video, we explore rare historical photos linked to vanished people, mysterious lights, UFO cases, strange figures, ancient artifacts, paranormal legends, and unexplained moments that still raise questions today. From the Lady Babushka and the Dyatlov Pass mystery to Roswell, the WOW, signal, Enfield, cemetery photos, underwater anomalies, and eerie images captured by ordinary people, each case reveals a mystery that refuses to fade. Some images have possible explanations. Others remain open to debate, leaving behind questions that continue to fascinate viewers decades later. Lady Babushka became an emblematic figure of the event on November 22, 1963, when President John Fitzgerald Kennedy was struck during the presidential motorcade in Dallas, Texas. She appears in records from Dealey Plaza, watching the scene closely, wearing a headscarf and dark sunglasses, a detail that drew the attention of investigators and the public. The mystery grew because the woman seemed to be holding a camera, but her identity and the possible material she recorded were never confirmed. The image came to represent the uncertainty of that day and the national impact caused by the case in a period marked by the Cold War, political distrust, and doubts surrounding presidential security. The Dyatlov Pass incident in 1959 in the Ural Mountains became one of the most intriguing cases in recent Russian history. 9 hikers had their expedition cut short in an isolated region, and after they were found days later, the details of the campsite and the photographs left many questions unanswered. Some images, including a blurry figure near the forest, expanded theories involving natural phenomena, secret activities, or unusual interpretations. The case remains surrounded by doubt, also reflecting the secrecy of the Cold War. Tom Carey, a well-known unidentified flying object researcher, made public several photos that allegedly revealed an extraterrestrial being captured in 1947, the year of the controversial Roswell incident. Measuring about 48 inches, the being had a disproportionately large head and eyes that resembled those of insects, which generated intense debates between unidentified flying object researchers and skeptics around the world. These images fueled the controversy over possible alien contact even further, establishing 1947 as a fundamental milestone in popular unidentified flying object culture. The WOW signal, captured on August 15, 1977 by the Big Ear radio telescope, represents one of the greatest mysteries of modern astronomy. Identified by astronomer Jerry R. Amon, the signal lasted only 72 seconds and impressed him enough that he marked the reading with the word "wow" in his records. Its origin remains unknown because it was never detected again, fueling debates about possible extraterrestrial signals and encouraging research into the search for intelligent communication in the cosmos. On the night of July 19, 1952, Washington became the setting for one of the most intriguing episodes involving unidentified flying objects, when several objects were detected over the Capitol around 11:30 at night. Military radars tracked the objects, which challenged interception attempts by Air Force aircraft, disappearing and reappearing on defense systems. The incident generated speculation and official investigation, fueling debates about extraterrestrial life and encouraging research during the Cold War. A group of German observers set up a camera in a forest to monitor local wildlife, capturing unexpected images that created mystery and debate. The photograph shows an ordinary animal, but with a mysterious humanoid figure with glowing eyes on its back, sparking theories ranging from optical illusions and image glitches to possible unknown entities. This episode influenced paranormal investigations and debates about unexplained phenomena in nature around 2020. The case of sisters Janet and Margaret Hodgson, which occurred between 1977 and 1979 in Enfield, England, became emblematic among paranormal phenomena. At 11 years old, Janet reported being affected by invisible forces that lifted her and caused furniture to move, while strange voices echoed through the house. Serious investigators and journalists witnessed the events, which drew major media attention and controversial discussions about the validity of supernatural phenomena in modern society, marking paranormal history. The Curiosity rover from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, sent to Mars in 2011, captured a bright anomaly on 2 consecutive days during its mission on the Martian surface. This mysterious light, recorded in the planet's desert landscape, sparked scientific interest and speculation about its origin, reflecting the challenges of interpreting poorly understood phenomena on Mars. So far, the cause of this glow remains a mystery, showing the complexities of exploring the red planet. Mrs. Andrews visited her daughter's grave in Queensland, Australia in 1946, and later noticed an unexpected figure in the developed photograph. The image seemed to show a baby looking at the camera, although no child had been seen in the cemetery that day. The record caused astonishment and began circulating among stories of family apparitions. In a period still marked by the losses of World War II, images like this found a strong emotional response from the public. A security camera recorded the inside of a store with a red box machine beside the entrance. On the left, a person appears leaning near the red kiosk, partly hidden by the machine itself, creating a strange position in the frame. The glass doors, reflections, and low image quality make it hard to understand exactly what happened, giving the scene a confusing and mysterious look. Ed and Lorraine Warren were paranormal investigators who gained attention by investigating cases of alleged possession and hauntings in the United States in the 20th century. The photograph obtained at the residence in Amityville, New York, became one of the couple's best-known records as they dedicated their lives to the study of supernatural activity. This case from the late 1970s popularized the Amityville story and influenced suspense and mystery culture, while also encouraging debates about faith, science, and unexplained phenomena. In 1967, Roger Patterson and Robert Gimlin filmed what became the most iconic and controversial evidence for the existence of Bigfoot, a legendary creature in North American folklore. The Patterson-Gimlin film created heated debates between believers and skeptics, influencing popular culture and unidentified flying object circles. Although many believe in the video's authenticity, including some amateur scientific research, others point to a possible stage scene using elaborate costumes, keeping the mystery alive for decades. The Faces of Belmez phenomenon, which occurred in 1971 in the Spanish town of Belmez de la Moraleda, gained notoriety for showing enigmatic images of faces mysteriously appearing on the concrete floor of a home. Despite several attempts to erase or cover these figures, they persisted, fueling speculation about paranormal manifestations. Scientific studies and investigations were carried out to try to explain the phenomenon, but to this day, its causes remain the subject of debate and public fascination. Security cameras in hospitals sometimes capture images that generate controversy, such as a scene associated with a moment of strong tension in a hospital setting. The recording showed a shadowy figure near a patient in delicate condition, surprising staff and creating debates about supernatural phenomena in medical spaces. These accounts reflect cultural and religious beliefs that influence the perception of the unknown in health institutions, affecting the psychological environment of workers and relatives. The case of Fred and Edwina Rogers, discovered in June 1965 in Houston, became one of the most discussed family mysteries in the United States. The evidence was found under extremely unusual circumstances in the home they shared with their son, Charles, a reclusive geophysicist and trained former military man, suggesting possible planning. The lack of forced entry indicated that the person responsible could have been someone known to the family. The case caused major public reaction and raised debates about home security and complex investigations in family settings. The photograph captured in 1963 at Newby Church in North Yorkshire, England, gained notoriety for showing a translucent figure wearing an old mask similar to those associated with medieval epidemic periods beside the altar. This image is considered one of the most notable and documented alleged apparitions of the 20th century, fueling debates between believers in paranormal phenomena and skeptics who tried to question the authenticity of the record. Its cultural impact continues, influencing both popular imagination and studies of supernatural manifestations. In July 1947, the crash of an unidentified object near Roswell, New Mexico, created one of the most famous episodes in American unidentified flying object history. Initially, the United States Air Force claimed to have recovered a flying disc, but later walked it back, saying it was a weather balloon. The episode fueled conspiracy theories about cover-ups and influenced the popular imagination about the existence of extraterrestrial life, marking the history of unexplained aerial phenomena. The discovery of a metal ring resembling a modern watch in a Ming Dynasty tomb dated to about 400 years ago brought a mystery to archaeology. Unearthed in 2008 in China, the object, stopped at 1006 and engraved with the word Swiss, contradicts what is known about watch technology and contact between East and West at the time. This find challenges historical understanding and encourages debates about cultural exchanges and ancient technological advances, with no definitive explanation to this day. Old lighthouses have always been linked to ideas of isolation, danger, and watchfulness along sea routes. A photograph showing a woman on the outer edge of a lighthouse became associated with a local legend about a female presence seen on foggy nights. Similar accounts appeared in coastal communities since the 19th century, mixing popular memory and fear of the sea. The image gained strength by bringing together maritime architecture, loneliness, and a story that seems suspended between reality and folklore. During World War I in 1918, the British Air Force faced both technological and human challenges in air operations. In a group of pilots and mechanics, one portrait became famous for showing Freddie Jackson, a mechanic who, according to reports from the time, had lost his life 2 days earlier in an airplane propeller incident. The alleged appearance in the photo contributed to wartime folklore, raising debates about supernatural experiences and the emotional impact of war on the lives of soldiers. The photograph shows a woman beside a male figure who, according to the account, was not physically present when the image was taken because her husband had passed away 13 years earlier. This phenomenon caused great emotion and is linked to early attempts by photography to record the invisible and the supernatural, sparking debates about capturing spirits or memories beyond physical time. The episode reflects society's fascination and unease with hidden forces and the connection between technology and mysticism in the early 20th century. The Hessdalen Lights, observed since the 1930s in the Hessdalen Valley in Norway, draw attention for their irregular appearances and unusual behavior. The lights can vary in color, intensity, and movement, which led to the launch of Project Hessdalen in the 1980s to monitor the phenomenon. Although atmospheric and geological theories exist, no explanation has completely closed the subject. The case remains one of the most studied light events in Europe. Robert Sarek, a French photographer, recorded in 1964 off the coast of Queensland, Australia, a submerged silhouette that became associated with unknown sea creatures. The elongated shape recalled old descriptions of sea serpents, a theme present in myths and sailors' accounts for centuries. Without conclusive evidence about its origin, the image remained between theories of an animal, a shadow, a hoax, or a misinterpretation. The record shows how the ocean remains a powerful setting for stories that are hard to explain. The Chicago Spirit Investigation Group gained notoriety in 1991 after recording an image captured with a thermal camera at Bachelor Grove Cemetery in Illinois, which became known as the Cemetery Girl. The photograph fueled debates about paranormal phenomena and helped strengthen public interest in supernatural investigations, while also raising skepticism from the scientific community. This case marked an emblematic moment in the search for evidence of spirits at the end of the 20th century. Peter and Diane Berthelot visited Worstead Church in England in 1975 when Peter photographed Diane during prayer. After developing the film, the couple noticed a figure sitting behind her, even though no one had been noticed at the time of the photo. The local priest linked the appearance to the White Lady, a spiritual figure tied to regional traditions. The image began circulating among accounts of haunted churches and remains one of England's best-known paranormal records. During a visit to an aquarium, a young man smiled for a photo, while his brother lined up the frame with a turtle in the background in a calm setting. The record gained attention when, in the last images, a blurry figure appeared beside the young man, sparking curiosity and varied interpretations. This visual phenomenon attracted attention by generating debates about apparitions in everyday photographs, marking the image as a modern example of paranormal accounts. George Adamski, one of the early unidentified flying object researchers of the 20th century, gained notoriety by claiming to have photographed an unidentified flying object in 1952, showing images of alleged extraterrestrial craft. In the 1940s and 1950s, he reported encounters with Venusian and Martian beings, claiming he traveled through space with them to the Moon and other planets. Despite popular fascination, his evidence was challenged by experts who pointed out inconsistencies in the photos, creating controversy in the unidentified flying object movement and in the imagination surrounding alien visits. Since August 2007, the coast of British Columbia, Canada, became the setting of a mystery because of unusual finds on beaches near Vancouver. The remains, usually found inside sneakers, intrigued authorities due to the lack of immediate explanations and the conditions of the marine environment. Analyses identified some cases linked to people previously not located, but many circumstances remained uncertain. More than 20 records were reported, generating speculation about ocean currents, accidents, and maritime phenomena. The fairy circles of the Namib Desert in southwestern Africa are intriguing natural formations that have sparked curiosity since their discovery. With diameters between about 7 and 49 feet, they appear scattered across the dry landscape and can be seen from great distances. Recent research seeks to uncover their origins with biological, chemical, and ecological theories, but still no consensus. These patterns reflect the complexity of desert ecosystems and encourage studies about the interaction between soil, plants, and climate. Michael Rockefeller, heir to the Rockefeller family, disappeared in 1961 while exploring Papua New Guinea to collect artifacts from the Asmat tribe, a traditional and isolated community in the region. His boat overturned at sea and he tried to reach the coast, but his fate was never confirmed. Local accounts raised different possibilities about what may have happened, although no definitive conclusion was reached. The mystery generated searches and debates, symbolizing the challenges of expeditions and the cultural clash between the West and traditional peoples. The sliding stones of the dry racetrack lakebed in Death Valley, California, intrigued scientists for decades because of their tracks without any apparent driving force. Weighing up to 700 pounds, they move mysteriously across the sandy surface. Recent studies show that in extreme cold, a thin layer of ice forms beneath them, allowing strong winds to move them. This discovery solved a natural mystery and showed the interaction between climate, geology, and desert environment. The Baltic Sea anomaly was discovered in 2011 by Swedish treasure hunters exploring the seafloor with sonar. The unusual structure recorded by the equipment sparked varied theories, including a geological formation, a sunken object, or an element still not identified. Reports of equipment failures when the team approached increased public curiosity even more. The case became known as one of the most discussed underwater records of the decade. Billy Meier stood out in the 1970s as one of the most controversial unidentified flying object researchers, especially after the release of photographs, such as one taken in the spring of 1976 in Switzerland, showing a disc-shaped object. He claimed that these craft belonged to the Plejaren, an advanced extraterrestrial race that supposedly chose him to communicate essential messages to humanity. These claims sparked intense debates among researchers, fueling unidentified flying object culture and influencing views about alien life and extraterrestrial contact. The individual known as the Zodiac began a series of attacks in the San Francisco region in 1969, sending coded letters and threatening messages to the press. His communications increased the climate of fear and turned the case into one of the best-known criminal investigations in the United States. The signature with a crossed circle became one of the most remembered symbols of the episode. Even with advances in forensic analysis and code-breaking, the Zodiac's identity remained surrounded by doubt. At the end of the 20th century, the discovery of two giant pyramids made of glassy, high-density material at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle generated curiosity and speculation. This area, marked by unexplained incidents involving ships and aircraft, began to be studied through theories about unknown technologies or possible alien interventions. The structures challenged conventional archaeology and encouraged debates about advanced civilizations in the past, influencing culture and science. An individual entered an elementary school located in a rural community during its demolition process and recorded images with a cell phone. In one of those photographs, the figure of a child standing still and looking directly at the camera stands out. This scene represents the fleeting memory of the institution, a symbol of transformations in Brazilian rural areas, where the removal of school structures reflects demographic changes and the centralization of education, affecting access and community life. The Eilean Mòr lighthouse in Scotland became the setting of a maritime mystery in December 1900, when keepers Thomas Marshall, James Ducat, and Donald MacArthur disappeared without leaving clear signs of what happened. The last photo associated with the case shows an apparently normal routine before the episode. When the supply ship arrived, it found the place closed, with objects out of place and no explanation for the men's fate. The case remains one of the strangest episodes of life in isolated lighthouses in the early 20th century. The Carroll A. Deering ship was found anchored and empty off the coast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, on January 31, 1921, creating one of the greatest maritime mysteries of the 20th century. In good condition and ready to sail, the five-masted schooner showed no clear signs of combat or disaster, but its crew had disappeared without explanation. The mystery generated theories of piracy, mutiny, and natural phenomena, but no investigation explained the crew's fate, keeping the case as an enigma that still fascinates historians today. The case of Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old Canadian student, gained notoriety after images from February 2013 in the elevator of the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles showed unusual behavior, sparking unease and debates about urban safety. 2 weeks later, guests reported problems with the hotel's water, and technicians found new evidence on the roof of the building. The case generated worldwide attention and raised discussions about security failures, public investigation, and mysteries still surrounded by doubt. In 1948, an unidentified man was found on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, intriguing Australian authorities because he was well-dressed, showed no apparent signs of violence, and had the labels removed from his clothing, making identification difficult. Known as the Somerton Man, the case became one of the greatest investigative mysteries of the 20th century, involving theories ranging from Cold War espionage to coded communication puzzles. To this day, the episode remains unsolved and is remembered as one of the most enigmatic investigations in Australian history. Mary Reeser became the subject of an unusual case in July 1951 in St. Petersburg, Florida, after an episode involving fire under difficult-to-explain circumstances. The scene puzzled authorities because part of the room was affected unevenly, while nearby objects remained little changed. The case became associated with the debate over spontaneous human combustion, creating discussions among experts about possible natural, environmental, and investigative causes. To this day, it is remembered as one of forensic science's most curious events. The Hinterkaifeck case, which occurred in 1922 on an isolated farm in Germany, became one of the country's most enigmatic investigative episodes. 6 people from the same family were found on the property after days of strange signs, including footprints in the snow and noises coming from the attic. The possibility that someone had remained hidden at the site before the event made the story even more mysterious. To this day, the case remains unsolved and is remembered as a notable investigation from the post-World War I period. Mansour went viral on social media on April 27, 2024, after sharing an image showing a couple posing in a friendly way, but in the mirror reflection, a frightening face appears in place of the woman's head. The post drew the attention of thousands, with more than 16,000 retweets and nearly 10,000 likes, creating debates about paranormal phenomena and optical illusions. This episode shows how the internet amplifies narratives of the unexplained and influences discussions about visual perception. In 1912, the disappearance of Bobby Dunbar, a 4-year-old boy during a fishing trip in Louisiana, triggered an 8-month search. A boy found in Mississippi under the care of William Cantwell Walters was recognized by the Dunbar family as their son, although Walters claimed he was Bruce Anderson, the son of Julia Anderson. The case led to a legal dispute that gave the child to the Dunbars, while Julia Anderson returned to Mississippi, arguing that he was not their son, creating controversy over identity and justice. In 2000, police in Sarasota, Florida, received photos sent by an anonymous source showing a creature nicknamed the skunk ape, whose upright posture and hairy body sparked debates about its identity, with comparisons to the mythical Bigfoot. The release of the images generated public interest and speculation about their authenticity. But skepticism prevailed, with many experts suggesting it was simply a black bear, highlighting the human fascination with enigmatic figures and urban legends. Guido Valentich held a photo of his son Frederick, a young pilot who disappeared on October 24, 1978, during a flight between Melbourne and King Island. At 20 years old, Frederick reported being followed by a metallic object with green lights before losing contact. The Valentich case became emblematic because of the absence of wreckage and the father's devotion to the alien abduction theory, encouraging debates about unexplained aerial phenomena and influencing unidentified flying object culture in Australia. On Christmas Eve 1945, the Sodder family home in West Virginia went through an unexplained episode involving fire, after which 5 of the 9 children were no longer found. The circumstances raised many doubts because the phone line was cut, the ladder disappeared, and the vehicles of the father, George Sodder, did not work, making help difficult. An unknown salesman had made a warning days earlier, suggesting the possibility of a planned action. The case still intrigues researchers and marked the history of the region. The old hospital in Texas mentioned in the narrative is known for reports of abandonment and paranormal activity associated with the early 20th century. Urban explorers recorded images at the site, and some of them began to be interpreted as apparitions or unexplained figures. The building's deteriorated atmosphere, combined with old stories about health institutions, helped create a mysterious aura around the space. The case also helped strengthen interest in mystery tourism and paranormal investigations in the region. The stone spheres of Costa Rica, known as Las Bolas, are pre-Columbian artifacts discovered in the 1930s and associated with ancient cultures of the region. Some reach about 7.9 feet in diameter and weigh several tons, impressing observers with their rounded shape and granodiorite craftsmanship. Archaeologists still debate their method of production and original function, although ceremonial and symbolic theories are often cited. Over time, these spheres became one of the most important archaeological symbols of Central America. The Madeleine McCann case, which occurred on May 3, 2007, in Praia da Luz, Portugal, became one of the most media-covered investigations of recent decades, involving the disappearance of the 3-year-old girl while her parents were dining nearby. Over the years, different investigative lines, analyses, and statements kept the case prominent in the international press. The lack of definitive answers increased doubts and fueled debates about safety, public investigation, and media coverage. The case remains unresolved. The photograph from the 2000s records an episode in which boys pose for a photo while a camera with a timer captures the scene. When the image was revealed, strange figures appeared in the background, raising mysteries and debates about apparitions and unexplained phenomena. This type of digital record, common in the first decades of the 21st century, fueled popular interest in supernatural investigations and contributed to urban culture involving haunting reports and theories tied to everyday images. In the city of Manila, in the Philippines, a group of girls was walking through an urban area when they asked a stranger to take a photograph. When they saw the image, they noticed a strange figure holding one of the girls by the arm, although no one had noticed it at the time. The case gained strength in local accounts and became associated with urban apparitions. The lack of a clear explanation helped turn the photo into one of the most discussed paranormal images in the Philippines. The contaminated letters case occurred in 2001 in the United States, when envelopes containing dangerous biological material were mailed to public figures and outlets such as the New York Post and journalist Tom Brokaw. The episode created major national concern and led to changes in postal security practices after the events of September 11th. The government offered a reward of up to $2.5 million to identify those responsible, while investigations and new protective measures were implemented across the country. The identity of Lori Ruff, a woman who lived under a false name for decades, was finally revealed, solving a mystery that intrigued investigators and genealogists. Lori used false documents, including a Texas driver's license dated 1987, and her true past was unknown until recently. This discovery exposed questions about missing people, document security, and the complexity of identity in the United States, creating debates about privacy and authenticity in an increasingly digital era. A man bought a trailer and took a photograph to record the achievement, but when reviewing the image, he noticed an indistinct silhouette inside the vehicle. According to the account, he was alone at the time, which made the scene uncomfortable. The appearance was interpreted in different ways, from reflection and shadow to supernatural presence. The case became known precisely because it showed how a simple image can affect the perception of safety and turn an ordinary object into a source of unease. Area 6, part of the Nevada National Security Site, gained major notoriety for its use in underground tests and strategic projects carried out between 1945 and 1992. In 2005, the construction of a runway and modern hangars increased speculation even more about its hidden functions. Although the government keeps strict secrecy, experts indicate that the area is linked to security and technology operations, reinforcing its important and mysterious role during the Cold War and in United States military surveillance. The enigmatic John Titor appeared in the early 2000s on online forums, claiming to be a time traveler from 2036 and presenting the alleged C-204 model time machine. According to his descriptions, the device manipulated gravity and wormholes to allow time travel. Hyder gained notoriety for predicting a civil war in the United States and a global conflict in 2015, events that never came true, fueling debates about the possibilities and paradoxes of time travel in the collective imagination. During the American Civil War, an intriguing image circulated showing men holding an alleged downed pterodactyl, a prehistoric animal extinct for millions of years. Such a photograph generated controversy because, if true, it would point to the unknown survival of these creatures. The most accepted theory is that it was a staged image or wartime propaganda, reflecting the tense climate and the need to psychologically affect the enemy. This photo became a symbol of ambiguity and fabricated narratives during periods of conflict. The Ubaid lizard people figures found in 1919 in southern present-day Iraq date from the Ubaid period between 6500 and 4000 before Christ and are unique artifacts of Mesopotamian prehistory. With elongated faces and reptilian features, these sculptures intrigue researchers because they suggest complex symbolic or religious practices in proto-urban societies. Their study helps explain the cultural and spiritual evolution of early civilizations, highlighting the diversity of ancient myths that influenced human development. The 1959 photograph in Alice Springs, in Australia's Northern Territory, became famous for showing a ghostly figure whose identity was never confirmed, fueling speculation about spirits or supernatural entities. The image suggested that the shadow was holding binoculars, generating debates about paranormal phenomena during a period of growing global interest. This episode helped popularize Australian folklore and apparition stories in the country's remote interior lands. Ray Rivera, a 32-year-old aspiring screenwriter and editor, disappeared in 2006 after answering an urgent phone call, a fact that caused great concern. His wife offered a reward of $5,000 to find him, mobilizing an intense search. Days later, the case took new turns at the Belvedere Hotel in Baltimore, becoming a controversial and intriguing episode. Theories about what happened continue to be discussed today, keeping Ray Rivera among the best-known modern mysteries in the United States. An emergency medical technician recorded glowing eyes on a rural road, reviving old local legends about a supernatural creature known by the population. The image did not show enough detail to confirm what was there, but it was enough to fuel stories passed down orally for generations. Cases like this show how simple records can connect to old fears from isolated areas. The episode reinforced the role of folklore in how communities interpret the unknown. In 2021, at Phillips Park in Manchester, a man out for a morning run photographed an unknown figure on a tree branch. The image drew attention on social media and created theories ranging from an unidentified animal to a supernatural interpretation. Like many modern records, the lack of clarity increased doubts instead of solving them. The episode shows how urban environments can also produce images capable of sparking collective curiosity. A young woman captured an apparently ordinary selfie in 2011 using her computer webcam, and it soon went viral after revealing a dark, indistinct figure standing behind her, partly hidden by shadow. The case sparked great curiosity and debate on social media, becoming a notable example of early paranormal photo phenomena in the digital age, reflecting modern fears about the unknown and the influence of the internet in spreading mysteries. The night photograph of a young woman sitting on a park bench draws attention because of a dark figure partly hidden among the trees in the background. The record shows how an ordinary scene can change meaning when an unexpected detail appears in the frame. For some, the figure suggests a threatening presence. For others, it may be only a shadow, a person in the background, or camera distortion. The image works precisely because it leaves the viewer without an immediate answer. The photograph captures an unsettling scene by showing a calm woman in front of a mirror whose distorted reflection seems to challenge the laws of physics, suggesting a break in visual perception. Probably from the middle of the 20th century, the image reflects a time when experimental photography explored new ways of manipulating reality to raise questions about identity and reality. This type of representation anticipated debates about subjectivity and illusion, influencing artistic movements that deconstructed the traditional image. On the night of September 1, 1969, the Warner family passed through Sheffield, Massachusetts, when an intense light in the sky lit up their vehicle, causing a strange feeling of pressure and a loss of time awareness. At the same time, Melanie Kirchdorfer reported being taken by an unknown force at a nearby lake, an episode interpreted by many as a possible abduction. This event, studied by enthusiasts of unidentified flying object phenomena, marked the memory of those involved and influenced the debate about extraterrestrial encounters and anomalous experiences in the 20th century. The scene looks strange at first glance, but it shows wax figures deformed after an incident in a museum. Heat changed parts of the mannequins, leaving their shapes in unusual positions. The photograph draws attention because of its confusing visual effect, making artificial pieces look like something difficult to explain. The Plougastel d'Aoulas rock, discovered in Brittany, France, carries inscriptions about 230 years old that intrigued historians and linguists. The stone, visible only during low tide, presents symbols and letters whose origin has still not been fully understood. The village even offered a reward of 2,000 euros to anyone who could decipher its message. The case drew attention by bringing together local archaeology, coded language, and public curiosity around an apparently simple object.